my name's Sam. Welcome back to my yoga video. Today we're going to be practicing a grounding yoga flow. So this is a great flow to practice whenever you've been up in your head a lot. So if you've been feeling overly stressed, overly anxious, or if it's just been a really busy time for you at the moment with whatever you've got going on, this is a great flow to help slow everything down and bring back a bit of awareness and connection to your body. Okay, so we're going to get started lying down. So you can make your way onto your back. Just find any comfortable shape to settle in. I'm going to start in a reclined butterfly here to just bring a bit of awareness to my hips and inner thighs. And then once you're settled, maybe tuck the chin slightly towards the chest. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Take a couple of moments to notice how your body is feeling, however it is you've settled on your mat. Start to bring a bit of softness and release to the shoulders, to the jaw and the forehead. As I said at the start, you've been drawn to a grounding yoga flow for a particular reason. For whatever reason that may be, you obviously feel like you just need to slow down, to reconnect, to ground. So start to do this today by bringing your awareness to the feel and the flow of the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Notice the movement of the palms as they rise and fall with the breath. As you gradually begin to lengthen and smooth out your inhales and your exhales. Notice the warmth of your hands as they rest on your belly and on your heart. The belly and heart, two of the most important ways the body can communicate to us. Notice perhaps already the way your body has responded to just slowing down for a few moments already and just to connecting to the breath. So very gradually now begin to slide your hands to the outside of the thighs, draw the legs back together, bring them into the belly, interlace the hands around your shins, bring your forehead to your knees and just give yourself a little bit of a squeeze here, a hug, closing everything nice and tight. And then slowly keep hold of the legs, but just bring your upper body back down. Bring each hand onto the top of either knee. Then keep the knees drawn in towards you and then start to send the knees out in circles. You're going to start to make some big circles with the knees here. Just starting to bring some awareness to the lower body here. And beginning to mobilize those hip joints. So notice how smooth or perhaps a little jerky this movement's feeling in the hip. And just adjust your movements accordingly, maybe making the circles a little bigger or smaller. Maybe reversing the directions of the circle. So our practice today is going to be focusing on building a little bit of strength in the lower body. The lower half of the body is where we are connected to the earth, to the ground. Sometimes when we've been a little bit all up in our head, we can just lose that a little. So we'll be building a bit of fire and heat in the lower half of the body. All right, so you can slowly now just place the left foot on the floor. And then take your hands, interlace them around the back of your right thigh as you extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, flexing the foot so the toes are turned towards the shin and drawing the thigh in towards you, finding that nice stretch on the back of the leg. And then bend the right knee, point the toes and find the shin so it's parallel to the floor. And then slowly re-straighten, flexing the foot. Do that a couple of times, point the toes, you bend the knee. Breathing smoothly, inhaling and exhaling, whatever rhythm. And then the next time the leg straightens, just start to do a few rolls through the ankle, one way then the other, starting to mobilize the feet. And then slowly we're going to switch legs, so you can begin to draw both legs in, maybe pause there for a moment before bringing the right leg down, interlacing the hands around the back of the left thigh and stretching the left leg up. Again, flexing the foot, heel towards the ceiling, toes towards the shin, just starting to feel that openness on the back of the legs. Really continuing to breathe deep here. And then starting to bend the knee, point the toe, and then flex the foot as you re-straighten. Maybe inhaling to bend and exhaling to straighten or the other way. Just stay connected to that breath for the last 3. For the last 2. And then re-straighten the leg again and just start to take a few ankle rolls, mobilizing the feet. Often get very neglected up or little toes that carry us around all day, every day. Good. And then slowly bend the knee again and draw both knees in towards you. Give yourself a little bit of a hug once more. We're going to start with a bridge today. So you're going to bring your feet down to the mat, slightly further away from you than fingertips touching heels, so slightly longer bridge. I'm going to take more of a Pilates bridge. So the purpose of this bridge is to bring a little of awareness and strength to the legs and the glutes. So not so much opening the chest. So your arms are down by the sides of the body. You're going to ground down with the feet, which are hip width apart, that comfortable distance away from you. And then start to roll the hips up off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. So you're going to stop at the point that your knees, hips and shoulders are in one long line. Maybe inch the shoulders down back a little bit more. Then perhaps close your eyes. Keep lengthening the tailbone to the backs of the knees and just breathe here. So keep that breath long and deep if it's starting to shorten a little. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. You're grounding down through the heel, the big toe and the little toe of the foot. Your knees are lengthening to the end of the mat and your tailbone is lengthening to the backs of your knees. Breathing here, feeling this in the glutes now. Perhaps they're starting to talk to you a little bit, as well as the hamstrings. You're here for another 10. Breathing here for 9. Keep grounding down with the feet for 8. For 7, nice and soft through the jaw and the shoulders. For 4. For 3. For 2. And slowly lower all the way back down. Well done. Maybe hug the knees in just for a moment or 2. So we're going to move on to some single leg bridges. So again, planting the feet back down. Arms are spread nice and wide by the sides of the body. Upper back is nice and grounded. Drawing your belly to your spine, you're going to keep the left foot on the floor, but just lift your right leg up to tabletop and just straighten the leg up towards the ceiling again. So if you're quite tight in the back of the hamstrings, you can keep the right knee slightly bent, or maybe keeping it up on tabletop with the shin parallel to the floor. Otherwise, straighten the leg and flex the foot so the toes are turning back towards the face. Really engaging the thigh on your right leg. And starting to activate the left glute here. So really starting to draw that left glute in. Grounding down through the heel and the big toe, little toe of the left foot. And then on your next inhale, press down with the left foot and lift the hips back up to bridge. And exhale, come back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, control that lower. For 8. For 7. Keep breathing here. Stay soft through the jaw. For 6. For 5. Really lengthening the tailbone to the back of that left knee. For 3. Breathing here. Lift that right hip. For 2. Make this your last one. Stay up. Point the toe of the foot that's in the air. Hips up an inch and down an inch. Up an inch and down an inch. For 8. For 7. Soft through the face. For 6. For 5. Really engage that left glute. For 3. For 2. And 1. Bend the knee that's in the air and slowly lower all the way back down. Ooh. Draw the knees into the chest for a couple of moments. Re-find your breath here. And we're going to repeat that, even you up on the other leg. So placing the feet back down into your bridge. Arms by the sides of the body, nice and broad through the collarbones. This time grounding down through the right foot as you draw the left leg into tabletop and then extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. So flexing the foot again here, engaging the left thigh, keeping the rib cage knitted down towards the hips. Bringing that awareness now to the right glute, really starting to engage it as you ground down through the sole of the right foot and inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, back down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower for 8, for 7, stay strong, for 6, for 5, for 4, nice and smooth, for 3, nearly there, for 2, come up and stay up, point the toes of the foot that's in the air, hips up an inch and down an inch, for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, relax the face, for 3, talking to myself, for 2, and 1, bend the knee and slowly lower all the way down. Well done, guys. Hug the knees in towards the chest, pretty burny. Definitely aware of that lower body now. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up to sit. So you're going to take the hands down the backs of the thighs, slowly start to press the legs away, look between the thighs and come up to sit. So take a moment here to maybe move the flesh out from the sit bones. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs. Start to look between the thighs. Stay soft through the shoulders, starting to engage our center here, really connect to our core. So draw the belly in, very slowly start to lean back, drawing the toes towards you, coming onto the tiptoes, maybe starting to just float the toes up off the mat and play with your balance a little bit here. So squeezing the knees and ankles together. Good. Really keeping the gaze between the thighs, but really starting to draw your legs and chest closer together. For 10, just a little play here, maybe rocking a little bit backwards and forwards, just a touch. For 8, for 7, if you're feeling pretty powerful, squeezing the legs, maybe reaching the arms out long, but keeping closed up like that ball. For 3, for 2, squeeze a little tighter, and release. Good job. Cross the ankles, ground down through the palms, and make your way to your tabletop. Grounding down through the fingers, really again focusing on that foundation. Pressing down through your index finger knuckles and spreading all the fingertips nice and wide. Couple of cat-cows once you've arrived, dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, finding that openness across the chest as you inhale. And then exhale, beginning to squeeze the sit bones together as you round the spine. So maybe close your eyes as you begin to roll through the spine here. Breathing in and breathing out. Last couple. Maybe rolling through the hips and the shoulders just to start to open that side waist a little bit. For the last 3. For the last 2. We're going to start to come to a downward dog, so you can start to walk the feet back. Maybe pedal out through the legs a little, bend one knee, bend the other knee. Start to notice how the legs are feeling in your downward dog. Beginning to find that nice openness. Maybe rolling the ankles a little bit one way than the other. Just whatever feels good. Alright. And then slowly we're going to come forward to a plank as we inhale. So beginning to squeeze the legs, roll forward to your plank pose. Option to drop the knees down and butterfly if you're finding this a little bit challenging. On your exhale, go all the way back, downward dog. 3 more of those. Inhale high on the tiptoes, roll forward to plank. Really ground down through the fingertips and press out through the heels. Exhale all the way back to your downward dog. Inhaling, coming forward to plank. Really starting to draw the hands towards each other on the mat. And exhaling all the way back, downward dog. Let's just do one more. Coming forward to plank as you breathe in, drawing the hands and toes towards each other on the mat, finding your downward dog as you breathe out. Take a full cycle of breath here as you lift the sit bones up. Take a full exhale as you press the thighs back. Start to walk the hands and feet towards each other. Find a ragdoll in the middle of the mat, so take a hold of either elbow, bend the knees, and just start to fold over the legs for a few moments here. Maybe shake the head yes, no, rock the upper body forward and back, side to side. Just let that tension begin to fall out of the upper body. Switch the across of the elbows. Maybe a nice gentle sway, bend in the knees. And then start to release the elbows and blink the eyes open if you've closed them. Looking down at your feet, again maybe with a slight bend in the knees. Really picking up all 10 of the toes here, spreading them wide and laying them down on the mat one by one. Grounding down through that big toe, little toe and heel. Start to lift up through the inner arch of the foot as you bend the knees and send the butt low. Ground down with the feet, sweep the arms up, chair pose, breathing in. Exhale, we straighten the legs, fold over, forward fold. Again, bend the knees, inhale, rounding down through the heels as you lift the heart. And exhale, forward fold. Good, 4 more. Bend the knees, inhale, firing up those legs, lifting up to chair. Exhaling, folding over the legs. Bend the knees, inhale, come to chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Let's do 2 more. Bend the knees, chair pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Final chair pose, come up and hold it for 5. Turn the little fingers up and out for 4. Sink down a little lower for 3. Maybe lift the toes up, breathing here for 2. And straighten the legs, come all the way to stand, resting the arms by the sides of the body and closing the eyes. Take a couple of full breaths here, reconnecting back to the breath. Full inhale through the nose as you sit up tall and lengthen through the top of the head. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Again, inhale, fill the belly, lift the chest. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Keep your eyes closed and bring your awareness back to your feet. Maybe swaying a little bit side to side. Just noticing the distribution of the weight as it rocks across the sole of the feet. And then once again finding that grounding down through the big toe, little toe and heel. Start to lift up through the inner arch of the foot. Engage the thighs. Slightly turn the hip bones up to the ribs. And then lift the chest up to the sky. Inhaling, an invisible piece of string is trying to lift you up off the mat from right at the top of the head. Exhaling, your feet are grounding down and growing roots into the mat. Again, inhale lifts and lengthens, your whole body is feeling alive. Exhale, ground down the feet even deeper. Bend your chin to your chest and open your eyes. Keep the feet grounded, lift the head and stretch the arms up, drawing the belly in. Interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, ground down with the feet and lift, and then slowly lean over towards the right. Ground down with your left foot and lengthen more through your fingers. For 3, really focusing on that grounding through that left foot. Breathing into that left rib cage for 2. Exhale, belly engaged, come all the way back. Inhale, ground down and lift. Exhale, take it to the other side. Again, inhale, lengthen through the fingers. Exhale, ground down with that right foot for 3. Keep lengthening the tailbone slightly for 2. Come back to center. Inhale, release the arms by the sides. Exhale, maybe give the shoulders a bit of a roll. All right, so make sure you're at the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart. Picking up all 10 of the toes, spreading them wide, grounding your big toes down and then the little toes and the others one by one if you can. Again, really finding that foundation through the 4 corners of the feet, that lift through the inner arch. And you're slowly going to bring your hands to your heart and start to lift up your left leg. So you're going to begin to swing the weight onto your right foot, grounding down through the right leg as you lift the left leg up. Keep the hands in prayer to the heart. Flex the foot of the foot that's in the air and engage the glutes by hugging the hips towards each other. Then very slowly, you're going to begin to bend into your right knee, your standing leg. Take the leg that's in the air behind you, pausing but moving very slowly, pausing here briefly, and then bending the standing leg. Find your high lunge. So step the back foot back, toe heel it or wiggle it back a little bit so the stance is nice and long. We're going to keep the hands in prayer today and focus just on the lower half of the body. So really grounding down through the legs here, building up that heat, fire, awareness of the legs. So you're bending into the front knee and you're pressing out through the back heel. Start to pull your back toes and front heel towards each other. Feel the legs engage here. Breathing here for 5, maybe bending a little deeper for 4. Again, keep hugging the legs together. Find that sense of lift out of your foundation for 3, for 2. Find your warrior 2. Well done. So start to open up to your warrior 2. Bending back into that front knee and settling your gaze over your front middle finger once you've found your warrior 2. So once again, we're opening up the hips here, yes, but we're focusing on building that strength in the legs. So you're bending into the front knee, but you're pulling your front foot and back foot slightly towards each other. So you're feeling that engagement and strength building in the legs here. 5. Keep lengthening the tailbone, lift the chest for 4. For 3. Breathe in here for 2. Keep the legs, take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders from the ears, lift the heart on your inhale, hugging the legs in, dive forward, humble warrior on your exhale. So your upper body's going to come inside of your front foot. Look at your back leg. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and draw your belly in for 3. Really ground down through that back foot. Keep that awareness in that back leg for 2. Pull the feet towards each other. 1 move. Release the arms. Come up slowly. Warrior 2. Bernie. Start to bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg. We're moving into goddess. So stance is slightly narrower. You're going to bend into the knees. Feet are out about 45 degrees. Just make sure the knees are roughly in line with the 2 middle toes. Coming down and aiming to bring the thighs parallel, maybe almost parallel to the mat. Knees are pressing back, tailbone is lengthening forward. All right, so settle in your goddess here. Bring your hands back to your heart. Relax your face, maybe close your eyes and just come back to the breath here. So again, becoming aware of that heat, that power in the legs, in the lower body. Really grounding down through those 4 corners of the feet. For 5, relax the face, stay with the breath. For 4, maybe sinking a little lower. For 3, moving the weight a little more into the little toe side of the foot. For 2, and 1. Straighten the legs slowly. Refind your warrior 2 just for a moment. Rebend the legs, reach the arms out, take a breath. And then bring both hands down to the mat. Step back to downward dog. Well done. Have a little shake around, nice and slow movements, whatever you need to release. We're going to find a pigeon now on the right leg. So you can either come from downward dog, from plank, or from hands and knees. I'm going to come from plank, so I'm going to come forward to plank as I breathe in. So you're either in down dog or tabletop, or you're here with me in plank. And then I'm slowly going to lift the right leg and bring the right knee outside the right wrist. So starting to move into your pigeon here, aiming for an opening on the outside of the right glute. You may want to take this pose on your back if you're getting any discomfort on the knee, or you can bring a block underneath the right sit bone if that helps. Just ease that right hip a little bit if it's quite high up off the mat. Slowly come down, see if you can find your pigeon pose here. Stay with the breath. Again, you may want to just stay up on the arms if this is quite a challenging pose for you, or maybe just come to the forearms. So wherever you are, settling here for 5, connecting back to the breath and really trying to release around that right glute for 4, for 3, for 2. Slowly begin to come back up. So a little challenge here. For those that don't fancy a little challenge, you're welcome to just take it back to downward dog and ease off your hip opening. Otherwise, you're going to try and come to your forearms in your pigeon. You're going to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. Engage the core and press into the forearms. Gaze is just in front of fingers. Whole body's engaged. Start to lift up the hips and slide that right leg out. Find your low forearm plank. Breathing here for 5. Again, hugging the body in towards your midline for 4. Press down with the forearms a little more for 3. Breathing here for 2. Either drop down to the knees and come out that way, or you can come up onto the right hand and then onto the left hand. Whoa. We will meet in downward dog. I did warn you this one was going to be fiery. So take a couple of breaths, slow it down. Again, maybe pedal out through those legs. We'll meet in a standing forward fold towards the middle of the mat. So starting to walk your hands and feet towards each other. Feet a comfortable distance apart. If you're starting to open up in the legs, you can bring the feet slightly closer than hip width. Finding your ragdoll here, again just softening over the legs, coming back to the breath. Long smooth inhales, long smooth exhales. Finding that little bit of softness and release in the upper body. And then slowly opening the eyes as you release the arms. Look at your belly button with a bend in the knees. Slowly, slowly roll yourself up to stand. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Head will come up last. Once you arrive, draw the shoulder blades down, back, palms face forward, reclose the eyes, and come back to your body and your breath. Again, really connecting to that feeling of that rooting down into the mat with the feet. And the sense of lift that comes into the body from that. Bending your chin to your heart and opening your eyes. Bring your hands to your hips and make your way back to the front of your mat. Again, take a moment to set up your firm foundation, so spreading the toes out nice and wide, grounding down through the big toe, little toe and heel, releasing the arms back by the sides of the body, ground down through the feet and lift up through the heart. And then bring your hands together, thumbs touch the chest bone. Just take one last exhale to ground yourself. And you're slowly now going to start to shift the weight into your left foot, finding a nice gentle bend in the left knee. As you float the right leg up, take a moment here, really grounding down through the left foot, lifting the heart. And we're going to take that slow transition back to high lunge. You're going to bend into the standing leg. Don't rush it, go slow. Take a big step, maybe pause for a moment. Let those back toes find the mat, maybe inch them out a little bit longer. Settling in your high lunge here, again keeping the hands to the heart, really bringing that awareness to the lower half of the body as it stabilises itself on the mat. Keep the chest bone lifting up towards the thumbs. Keep the weight grounded in the front foot. Keep that lift out of the lower back. And again, that slight drawing of the feet towards each other, so drawing your front heel towards your back toes. Breathing here for 5, maybe finding a little bit more depth. For 4, Really breathing smooth here for 3, for 2, and 1. Well done. Opening up to your warrior 2. Take a moment to arrange the legs and stretching the arms out in line with the ears, softening that gaze over that front middle finger. So again, bringing your awareness to your legs, your foundation, your roots. So grounding down through all 4 corners of both feet. Again, finding that slight hugging in of the legs and wrapping under of the left tailbone. Breathing here for 5. Keep that softness through the shoulders. For 4. Maybe finding that a little bit more depth. For 3. Breathing here for 2. Before bending the elbows, bringing the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back. Straighten the arms as best you can. Take a breath in as the chest lifts and find your humble warrior. Move slow, bringing the upper body all the way over inside that front leg. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and bring your awareness to grounding down through the little toe side of that back foot. Bending into the front knee, drawing that feet towards each other for 5, for 4. Stay strong in those legs for 3. I know it's burning. For 2. Hug the legs in. 1 move, come all the way back. Warrior 2. Oh, straighten the front leg, hands to hips. Re-find your goddess. So again, take a few moments to set the legs up. Make sure you're feeling stable and grounded in the feet so you don't feel like you're tipping backwards. If you do, just maybe angle the feet a little bit further forward. Finding that nice depth and bringing the hands to the heart. Stay soft through the face. Really breathe here, slow the breath, the heart back down. Either stay here or if you want that extra little bit of challenge, come onto the tiptoes of your right toes and then drop the right foot back down and left toes and back down. Keep doing that 1 foot at a time. Try not to move the hips as you lift up through that heel. For another 5, stay strong. For 4, finding anchor your mind to that breath. For 3, for 2, come up onto the right tiptoes, hold it. Come up onto the left tiptoes. For 5, lift the heels. For 4, come down lower. For 3, breathe here. For 2, slowly heels down, straighten the legs, my goodness. Find your warrior 2. We're just here for just 1 moment or 2. Before bringing the arms all the way back towards the mat, find your downward dog. Well done, guys. Take a moment here. Again, just release that in the legs as best you can or as much as you need. So we're going to find that pigeon on the left-hand side. You can either enter it from downward dog, you can join me in entering it from plank, or you can drop down to your hands and knees and take it from tabletop. So whenever you're ready, begin to find your pigeon. I'm going to come forward to plank, nice and strong, and then bring that left knee outside the left wrist, maybe sliding the back foot back slightly, and then just taking a few moments to settle here, finding that openness in the left glute. Again, any pain in the left knee, be sure to come down and take this pose on your back. Otherwise, maybe staying up high on hands if this is already a pretty intense stretch for you. Or maybe come down to the forearms as you begin to open or soften. Or maybe bringing the head to the palms. Then reconnect to your breath here. And again, try and find a little bit of softness and release. Really releasing around that left glute. Breathing here. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Now begin to come back up. Again, you can either take it back to downward dog or tabletop. Maybe a child's pose to release, or if you want that extra little bit of challenge with me. We're going to exit the same way as we did on the other side, so grounding the forearms down, tucking the back toes, lifting that back knee, really starting to engage the back leg, drawing the belly in. Ground down with the forearms, gaze just in front of fingers, Slowly begin to slide that left leg back. Find your forearm plank. Breathing here and holding it, grounding down through the forearms for 5. Squeezing, resisting away from the mat, drawing everything up and away from the mat for 3, for 2. Either drop the knees and exit that way, or come up onto the left palm, ground down, come up onto the right palm, and find your downward dog. Good job, guys. Slowly make that slow walk again, hands to feet. Re-find your final ragdoll here. That nice bend in the knees, take hold of either elbow. Again, start to soften over the legs. Maybe making small circles around the soles of the feet. Again, really being aware of that grounding down, that distribution of weight. And your whole body is supported by your feet. Slowly release the elbows, open the eyes, bend the knees enough and slowly begin to make your way down onto your bum. All right, so we're going to come down to the mat now to close. So you're going to make your way towards the front of your mat. Take hold of the backs of the thighs, sit up tall, close the eyes. And then staying soft through the shoulders, rolling all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae, bone by bone, as the lower back, middle back, upper back, and back of the head finds the mat. Draw the knees in towards you and just take a couple of moments letting the spine resettle. We're going to take a spinal twist. So you're going to draw the right knee into the chest and stretch the left leg out long. Draw the right knee in a little closer, pressing out through that left heel. And then use your left hand to bring your right knee all the way over to the opposite side of the body as you turn your head over your right shoulder. Really trying to keep that right shoulder blade anchored down to the mat. Before slowly coming back through center, take a half happy baby with that right leg. So your right hand is now going to come to the little toe side of the right foot. Bringing the sole of the foot above the knee. Find a cactus arm with the left arm and turn your head to the left. And then slowly begin to straighten that right leg again, walking the hands to the back of the calf, maybe a final roll of the ankle. Welcome to, hand to back of thigh, or walk it up to calf, maybe point the toe, draw in, just give your leg a bit of a hug. Before releasing, bending both knees in. And when you're ready, switching sides, so stretching the right leg out, interlacing the hands around the left shin. Drawing the left shin in as the right leg presses away. And then using your right hand to draw your left knee all the way over to the opposite side, turning your head, looking over the left shoulder. Really keeping that left shoulder blade anchored down. Enjoying this nice twist and release through the spine. Staying with your breath. Before slowly coming back and finding that half happy baby. Left arm takes hold of the little toe side of the foot. Sole of the foot presses up to the ceiling. Drawing and being soft through that left shoulder as it grounds down. And beginning to straighten your left leg. Hands around the back of the thigh. Again, maybe finding that nice little roll through the ankle, through the feet, the toes. And bring both hands, maybe climb them a little higher. Option to lift the head towards the leg. Giving your leg a nice little hug. And then slowly release. Well done, guys. All right, maybe draw both knees into finish. Last couple of rolls, see the hips. And then find your final resting shape. Maybe you'd like to stretch the legs out long, mat width apart. Palms face upwards by the sides of the body, traditional Shavasana shape. Or maybe you want to finish where we started, back in that reclined butterfly. Right hand to belly, left hand to heart. Once you've found that resting pose, take one last deep belly breath, filling the belly, the lungs, the chest. Hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth, let it go. Taking these last couple of moments to let the whole body now just rest. I'm going to leave you here. I encourage you to stay as long as you are able. I hope this practice has helped connect you back to your body. You take a little bit of groundedness, calmness, sense of stability, connection to yourself with you into the rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.